Hey, this is Brendan from All This Filth,
And me, that's Benny here from All This Filth as well.
and our new album, which we've just released, is called Tomorrow Will Be Better. It's out through Brutal Records, and yeah, get some.
Beautiful, guys. Thanks for joining us this evening.
Thanks for having us, Kris.
My pleasure.
Yeah,
So,
thanks for having us on.
as you say, man, All This Filth released your latest album, Tomorrow Will Be Better, back on February the 9th. So it's almost been a month now, guys. How's it been received?
Yeah, it's going well so far. We've had a lot of good feedback. The reviews have been generally positive, and all the fans I've spoken to and all the messages I've got from the band's social media have been good so far. And all the media that we've been speaking to have seemed to have enjoyed the songs as well. I was on Andrew Hogue on Monday night, and he was saying that it's a definite step up for us and that he was proud of us, which was really, really cool praise from him. So, yeah, I mean, so far, so good. The feedback has been pretty unanimously good thus far.
Good to hear. So can you tell us a bit more about the album from a musical point of view, mate, and what you're going for with it?
Um, Musically, we just really wanted to step it up from the last album, Misery Season. Sort of just expand the boundaries of what we were doing. We wanted to like be more aggressive, more fast, more groovy. Yeah, add more keys and synths, which is sort of more Benny's department there. I'll let him touch on that in a sec. And just, yeah, really just test ourselves and push ourselves and see what we could really do musically. Yeah.
Benny?
Yeah, yep, it was a bit of a writing experience because I dropped out halfway through the writing to start with. I went to England, and right as COVID hit, and I had to come back and rejoin in and find out where everyone was up to with things like that. But yeah, the push was to try and go down more of a synthy kind of industrial inspired sound out of it, with a still keeping to the roots of the chugga chugga guitar riffs and things along those lines. But I don't know. I was kind of trying to sort of write something a little bit different. Some of the songs do come out a little bit different in a different direction altogether. Just trying something different. But yeah, they worked out pretty well, I think.
Cool. So thematically, the album picks up from where 2019's Misery Season left off. Can you explain that in a bit more detail?
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, well, do you want me to handle it or Benny?
yeah, you go for it. Yeah, yeah.
All right, cool. I got this. So yeah, thematically, lyrically, that's my department. So basically, Misery Season was the story of, like the theory of Misery Season is that everyone goes through hard times and hard times come and go much like a season. And that album was almost inadvertently a concept album about me going through a particularly hard time in my life. And then when we got to the end of that album, I felt like I still had some unfinished business from that album. So we wrote a song for the new album called Skyline, which we put on the new album. And where the new album starts, it literally has a sample from the last album. It picks off literally where the last album stopped and finished, which was the song I Am the Fortress. So it has a sample of I Am the Fortress coming in and then the car crash sound. Yeah, which sort of was like it actually happened to me. I was in a car accident with my partner, and so that was around the time we started writing that album and such. So that kicks in the album with the song It's Never Gonna Be Okay. And it literally picks up and it asks the question that when you've got through a really hard time and you get to the other side of that particular hard time, knowing that more hard times will come, and then you take a look around and the world's still fucked up and you're still struggling with your inner demons. This album asks the question is where do I go from here? What happens now? And how do I navigate my way through life and these new particular challenges? So it's just a continuation of that story, really, and asking that question, where do we go from here and what do we do?
Cool. Now we sort of touch on this a little bit, guys, but I want you to go into it in a bit more detail for us. Like the press release says that you pushed the boundaries to new levels on this album. So elaborate on that a bit for us. How did you push the boundaries and what was the process for it?
I'll let Benny go with this one.
Um, trying to do different things, like trying to add more and more layers of different sounds, going with different guitar riffs that we wouldn't normally use. Like we've got some of them that are very melodic at the intros and outros, kind of that. A couple of more quieter riffs in there. There is some more cheesy metal guitar solos in there. I know some people really love those. I'm not a fan of cheesy metal guitars, but there's a couple of solos like that in there as well. But yeah, there's a few songs on there which are a little bit more different. We love the industrial sound, but we also are big nu metal fans, things like that. So we try to merge a few things together here and there. So we're trying to push it all and just trying to get an evolving sound out of it, I think.
Yeah, sure. Now, I noticed a question mark on the end of the title. So tomorrow will be better is actually posed as a question. So is this more an album of hope or despair?
A little bit of both, actually, because I think that's what life is. It's not so black and white. It's not one or the other. Because life is hard generally speaking, and it can be, can go from like real highs to real lows a lot of the time, and sometimes it's just mundane drudgery. Do you know what I mean? Depending on where you are in your life, and so, it is posed as a question. Tomorrow will be better. It could be, yeah, tomorrow will be better. It could be like, is tomorrow really going to be better? And I've left that open for interpretation. But yeah, it's definitely a question that was definitely done deliberately.
Yeah, cool. This album also sees the band usher in a new lineup, guys. So can you introduce us to the new players and what they bring to the band?
Yeah, do you want to introduce them, Benny?
Yeah, sure. We've got Brock who's just come in. He's one of our new guitarists. He's not been in the scene too much recently. Most of our members are from all over the show. And then we've got Lenny, who's our other guitarist, who's come in. He's all the way from Germany. He's an interesting fellow. And then we've got Garrett, who's joined us on drums. I've transferred from purely keyboards to now I do the bass as well. So I did write a few of the bass riffs and lines on the previous album. Not just the keyboards, but also some of the bass lines and things like that. So, so we've had a few members move around and change, and quite a few new members, actually, because it's only really Brendan and myself who continued on with this album. So, anything more on that, Brendan?
No, I mean, that's pretty much it. The last lineup sort of came to a natural end, and a few people left for various reasons, whether it be family or to pursue other projects. Still friends with most of those guys. There was not a lot of hard feelings going around. But left us in a awkward position at the end of that year, which was, what was it, 2022, end of 2022, yeah. And then it was the end of 2022, and then we started the process of looking for new members. We got Garrett in. He used to drum for To Hell With Honor over here, and he drums for a couple bands at the moment. He drums for Applebite, The Beggars on Acid, which is more of a rock, like grungy rock band. Brock, funnily enough, I met through just a mutual contact. I was on Centrelink at the time, and one of my job network members asked me, "Is there anything we can do for you?" And I said, "You wouldn't happen to know any guitarists?" And he did. And that was Brock. So
Wow.
those job network members do get people jobs. It just wasn't me. I'm currently working at the moment now, but anyways, I went and got myself a job. But either way, that's how we met Brock. And Lenny just posted an ad online that he was looking for a band, and I just sort of messaged him and said, "Here's our stuff. Are you interested?" And he was like, "Yep." And and from there we came together pretty quickly. We all came together in February of last year, and we played a gig in, I think it was like May, maybe, or March, possibly.
I think it was March, end of March.
End of March, we played a gig, and then from there we've done a lot actually with this new lineup. We've done 2 tours. We went to Victoria in November of last year, end of November last year, which was great for Killfest.
Yeah.
And played a couple shows around that. And then we early this year went to Brisbane for Monk and Pedal Festival, and then played a show in Redcliffe in Queensland also. So yeah, we've done a bit of touring, and we're looking to do more with this new lineup. It's going well so far. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
cool.
that's how it all came together.
Sweet. And this is your first album since signing with US label Brutal Records too, guys. So what sorts of things did signing with them open up for the band?
I think it's mostly just opened up. It's got us promotion in areas we otherwise wouldn't have gotten. Because one of the things we wanted to do with this album, whereas previous albums were self-released or through small independent labels over here, this album we really wanted to push into different territories where we may have had a few fans, but we wanted to expand the fan base. So we signed with Brutal with the idea that hopefully we'd get more coverage in North America, South America, Europe, etc., etc. And so far so good. We've had some pretty decent reviews from Europe and Germany. We've had 3 or 4 reviews from some German publications and websites. And yeah, South America, we've had a few South American places hit us up. And yeah, so I mean, time will tell how well that goes, but so far it's going okay.
Oh. So looking back on reflection, guys, like how would you say all this Phil's sound has changed and grown from your debut album 11 Past up till Tomorrow Will Be Better?
I'll feel this first because from the 11 past lineup, I'm the only one left.
Right,
Uh,
yeah.
from 11 past. Benny's been with us since where we did the Program to Suffer. Obviously, he was with us before that because he recorded on Program to Suffer as well. Not Program to Suffer, sorry, Misery Season. He
No,
was on Misery.
music,
Came
no
up,
program stuff. Yeah,
yeah, came after Program to Suffer and on Misery Season. Sorry, I getting my timelines confused as
I
the guy
2016 I joined in.
yeah. The guys joke that I'm the band historian because I've been around that long. But yeah, so basically since 11 passed, I mean I started the band with a friend of mine, Jared, who's now currently in a bunch of bands in Perth, Dripped and Banished Realm and a few other bands like that. Um but we started the band and I was looking to merge, my main influences, a lot of groove metal, thrash, a bit of death metal, a bit of nu metal, bit of industrial metal, a little bit of hardcore. So the bands such as the biggest influences back in the early days were bands like Sepultura, Soulfly, Machine Head, Fear Factory, Nail Bomb, Chimera, that sort of thing. And while we've kept that, as a core sort of influence. As the years have gone on, I wanted to add some more industrial metal, some more Ministry, more of the Nail Bomb vibe, more bit of Nine Inch Nails, a bit of Three Teeth, and all sorts of cool industrial bands. And when Benny joined, he's into all that sort of stuff as well. So I found someone who I could riff with like that. We could write songs in that vein, and he also likes a lot of like Tool and sort of alt metal and nu metal bands like myself as well. And on the new album, he actually came up with the main riff, the bass riff for one of our singles, Breathing Concrete, which is one of the songs that's been received really well on the album. So yeah, we've tried, whilst trying to keep the core of our sound, we've tried to add things along the way and bring more elements in. And like I said, just sort of expand on those. So if we bring in a bit of industrial in one album, we want to have more in the next, and expand the boundaries out further and further each time. So we want to be more aggressive, more groovy, more synthy, more industrial. See how far we can push things really. So yeah, and I won't speak for Benny. I mean, Benny, how do you find it?
Yeah, very similar. Like the idea of pushing more towards more synth heavy and more um, just more different sounds. It seems keyboards and synths are becoming a bigger and bigger thing in metal music in general, not just industrial metal. Um, so I like seeing that evolve and grow, and because I love all the weird and wacky sounds. I'm heavy into Nine Inch Nails. and agro tech and electro industrial and things like that. So I'd like to see that more into the wider soundscapes of metal in general, rather than being like a purely a niche kind of direction.
Your sound draws from groove metal, thrash metal, hardcore, death, industrial, and even some sludge and nu-metal in places. Like, it's a hell of a lot of influences to bring together. So in the creative process, how do you know the balance? Like, how do you know when you've gone too far with something, or maybe not far enough with something else?
To a rhythm or a lyrical idea or bass line or whatever, and be like, I've got this, and then we'll sort of work on it a bit. You know, everyone will have their 2 cents, and then if we like it, we start adding to it and adding different riffs and different layers, and we really just keep trying things out till we get something that we're all relatively happy with. And you know, once we've done the foundations of the song, then we start adding the samples and the keys and lyrics and vocals and stuff later on. So really we just write what we think sounds good, and hopefully it works. And sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does. So, you know, hopefully it works more often than it doesn't, you know what I mean? So yeah. What do you think, Benny?
Yeah, very, very along those lines. When we're writing, it's just piece by piece, we come up with a riff and we go, yeah, we like this and we don't like that. And we add, then we go, okay, where does that lead into? Is this going to be an intro? Is that being an outro? And yeah, you work way down through the instruments. By the end, you're layering keys, you're layering all the stuff on there. Depends what the lead instrument's going to be in the song. For Bleeding Concrete, for example, that was all started on the bass with a riff I had a couple of years ago, and that's kind of from there we added in the guitars and then the keys and all the rest of it. So bit by bit, and then we just hope it turns out. If it doesn't, we've got a few songs which in the back burner. So if they don't make it, they get put into a pile, and we reuse like the song title or a riff here, a riff there, or something along those lines. We make something out of it. So not everything always makes it to recordings, but we try and at least remember what we've done.
Very good, guys. All right. Well, thanks very much for joining us tonight. The album Tomorrow Will Be Better is out now, and she's an absolute cracker. And if you're fans of the band, I suggest you keep an eye on their socials, because there's some pretty cool news coming in very shortly.
Yeah, hopefully hitting the East Coast again and doing some more shows outside of Western Australia, but we'll have some shows here as well. But yeah, stay tuned, and yeah, thank you everyone for all the support. Thanks, Kris, for interviewing us. But yeah, mostly thanks to our fans for all the support over the years. And yeah, stay tuned, because big things on the way.